San Francisco is now the first city in the U.S. to ban the use of facial recognition technology for police and other public agencies. The measure passed Tuesday despite pushback from law enforcement officials. They say the technology is an important tool for public safety. The decision is a big win for privacy and civil rights advocates who believe that facial recognition could be used for mass surveillance. Joining me now is Drew Harwell. He's a national technology reporter for the Washington Post. He covers artificial intelligence. So, Drew, this technology has been effective in catching criminals. I'm from Tampa, Florida. I know it's been effective there. What is the concern now about using this software in the city?
Well, it's not 100% accurate, and that the difference between somebody who is a criminal and somebody who's just an innocent is not always that obvious from these systems. Police are using them in more cities. They're using them for more arrests, and that raises the danger of a false arrest or a misidentification in a way that could lead to somebody innocent getting hurt or going to prison.
I've heard more and more that a lot of people of color are more likely to be accused of being guilty than people who are not of color. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, the systems as we see them today, research has shown that they just perform more accurately on people who are white. People of color are very often misidentified in these facial recognition searches, and that's just based off the data they've been trained on. So you have to think, there's a huge bias in the system here, and a danger of inaccuracy that could be really dangerous. And so that's a big part of why these bans are getting moved through in places like San Francisco.
And do you think it's not just San Francisco? Do you believe that other cities will follow suit as well?
Yeah, I mean, in the Bay Area, Oakland is considering something. There's a town in Massachusetts, and I think other cities are going to be seeing these types of proposals moving through. Facial recognition is just more than a lot of other technologies. There's just this inherent sort of creepy factor to it, and so you're seeing these advocates sort of mobilize across the country and restricting how it's used.
And despite that creepy factor you mentioned, Drew, you write that at this point there's not much that a ban would completely stop the use of facial recognition technology. We know that at places like airports, sporting arenas, that you believe that they'll still continue to be used. Can you explain that?
Yeah, the toothpaste is out of the tube, right? And the technology is so cheap and it's so easily available that a lot of police agencies across the country are sort of turning it on with very few obstacles. And you'll still see facial recognition in San Francisco proper at the airport. This is something that's being used more for foreign travelers and domestic travelers on flights. So there's a huge security element to this, and I think that's not going to go away. So as big of a victory as this is in San Francisco, it's fairly symbolic, and I think we're going to have to see more movement across the country before we recognize that this is really going away.
Drew Harwell, thank you so much, Drew, for joining us.
Thank you.